Bayo Onanuga, Special Advisor on Information and Strategy to President Bola Tinubu, has alleged that supporters of Peter Obi are behind the proposed nationwide protest. Obi was a presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 election. There have been reports that youths are planning a nationwide protest between August 1 and 15 against the rising cost of living and economic hardship in the country. The presidential aide claimed that the organizers are the same individuals who hijacked the NSAS protest of 2020. Onanuga wrote, revealed, Peter Obi supporters are the people planning mayhem in Nigeria. Obi should be held responsible for anarchy. They are the people spreading the hashtags End Bad Governance, Tinubu Must Go, and Revolution 2024. They are not Democrats, but anarchists. They are attempting to call out our people via propaganda because their messiah, Peter Obi, failed to win the presidency in the 2023 election. As bad losers, they don't have the patience to wait for another election in 2027. They would rather destabilize Nigeria by staging a civilian coup against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Joining us now on the show is Professor.
So good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Mazes. Okay, welcome to this evening stream. It is indeed a good time to be a Nigerian. It is indeed good that things are happening and they're happening so fast. You may recall over the weekend, we all woke up in shock at Bayo Onanuga made the tweet that all of us are now talking about. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear. Sound check. Yes, you can hear me loud and clear. That's good. Okay, so this guy made this claim that Peter Obi was the one and the brain behind the revolution that they are calling for. Many of us didn't take that lightly. Many of us drew the line and said, something has to happen. There is an adage in Igbo that says, "Abamba atunogo, ababa atunogo, no rogo kapia." Like you shoot the first one, it land the same spot. Second one, same spot. Third one, same spot. Come on, that arc is not meant for that sport alone. In this case, I would say personally, as an individual, it gladdens my heart that Peter Obi has finally taken this decision. Before that, actually, many of us didn't know this, but before that, yesterday, Professor Pato Tume was actually the first person that sued Bayo because explicitly therein, in his nonsense, in his jargon that he wrote, he called out Professor Pato Tume, who is somewhere in the United States of America as the one part of those behind these, people planning the protest. As quick as he can get, Professor Pato, to me, trust him on that, sued him. He can know that. In fact, anyway, let's stay on the 55 billion. But Professor Pato to me here, half a trillion, that is 500 billion. Anti-government protest. Professor Pato to me vowed to sue Onanuga for 500 billion. A renowned political economist, Professor Pat Otomi, has threatened a 500 billion lawsuit against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, special advisor on information and strategy. I'll stop here. Bayo Onanuga. Many of you may not understand the grievous thing that Bayo Onanuga does. And I take ownership of the following things I'm going to say, and I own it. No other person owns it. It's me, it's my thought. If anything happens, hold me responsible. I make bold to say that the presidency and the head of government is aware and is in cahoot with whatever Bayo Onanuga is doing. These are my reasons. Bayo Onanuga has, you see here, I highlighted it here for us to see. Bayo Onanuga has the title of Special Advisor on Information and Strategy. It means there is a strategy to use his office of information and strategy to misinform the public strategically putting information out there that the people will be misinformed, therefore that they will react differently. The secret of what Bayo Onanuga is doing is a state act, and it lies on the title of his position, Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, who uses his office to strategically misinform the public in order to develop hatred for a people and for a man. Now, who are the people? One is the entire Ndibo. Two is Mr. Pitobi. Three is the obedient. If you go back to that tweet, it's honestly, I wouldn't speak for IPOB. I'm not a member of IPOB, but he used IPOB, I think, about 5 or 6 times. I mean, I thank God that I am not yet dead. I am alive. Because we all here were alive. Some of you who do not know, when Nnamdi Kanu came out in 2020 and made the comments he made on this platform, myself, at the back end, people didn't know. Nzuko Monna, Ngozi Odumoko, Professor Pato Tumi. We brought in Femi Fani Kayode, Professor Femi Olufemilade, the Iroko. A lot of the Yorubas on this same platform, moderated by myself, and got Nnamdi Kanu to apologize to the Yoruba nations. And his statement here said it was at the heat of the moment that he said whatever he said, right? And he apologized to say that he was sorry. Now, how can the mistake or the slip of a man, one person, now be taken against an entire race? Bayo Onanuga recall that even those he served with, sometime last year, the Minister of Aviation, Festus Kayamo, had to actually call him out when he made nasty statement, that in Lagos they will never allow what happened before to happen again. You would think, what happened? Did anybody die? No, people didn't die. That fellow Nigerians who are of other ethnic nationality voted in a place where they live, where they sleep, where they shit, where they bath, where they work, and where they pay tax. In the last election in the United Kingdom, there is a man who formed the Yoruba Party, contested to be an MP. Nobody killed him. Nobody killed his people. Nobody rustled him. Nobody did anything to him. They welcomed him, gave him whatever support they need to give him. In the United Kingdom, he is a free man today. But here is Bayo Onanuga making a fuss about nothing, about an entire ethnic nationality, about a man whom did not support when, after the election, myself and Dr. Mo led protest because we felt justice was not done. In Abuja, for 21 days, P2B, not for one day, supported that protest, not for one day spoke to any of us that participated in that protest. A man who preferred to go through the legal means to get things done. To the charging of many. Many will criticize him. Why does he always believe in this? He's not a strong man. There is a video on this platform when he came to London to have dinner with his supporters. Someone asked him, "Are you sure you can deal with these things they do to you when you cannot fight them bullet to bullet, as was done in Rivers State, that the election you won in Rivers was taken over from you?" His response will let you know that this is a man who understands that it is not worth wasting another man's life. Why? Yet, Bayo Onanuga, on every single day, will wake up. You see Bayo, you see Reno, the mockery, you see Ebola, every single day. Sometimes I ask myself, is it because of Twitter monetization? Is it because of what? That these men will wake up every single day and do nothing but vilify a man who has done absolutely nothing to them. You lot say he didn't win an election. Allow him now. Let him be. Even as we speak, even as we speak, Atiku Abubakar has supported the End Bad Governance protest today. He has come out to say he is in support of it, Bayo Onanuga, because there is an agenda list in the title of the job Tinubu gave him to do. They all went deaf. They all went blind. None of them has said nothing. Honestly, if nothing gladdens my heart this week, this is the best news ever. That is us should be sued and to be sued rightly. In fact, General Oluchi, if you're there, you should go ahead and start your own suing. Let him be sued everywhere that he should be distracted from his job and be attending court. If he must, even if he's going to anywhere, if worse comes to worse, because they've been using our money anyhow, now they can also use our money to go to court. This is a nation where things you appoint people to help you to do certain things, they can't do it. As I was saying before, Bayo Onanuga, as contained in his job title here, Professor Pat Utomi has said that he's going to take a lawsuit against him for 500 billion. Now, people, let us come to the cocoa of the matter. Maybe maybe before we do, actually, recall that yesterday there was a press statement by the Ohaneze Ndibo, and which again is in line with the same, because they couldn't believe and fathom that something like this is happening, and no one, or rather those in authority that ought to call him to order, are all keeping quiet. It points to one direction and one direction alone, that those in authority are solidly behind him. Now, let me show you this. We published this yesterday. The the persistent Ibophobia and national development. Ohaneze Ndibo. Ohaneze Ndibo. Let me take some of these, in part what they've written here. It says the attention of Ohaneze Ndibo worldwide has been drawn to a remark by the special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Chief Bayo Onanuga, to the effect that the malcontents planning to stage nationwide protests are supporters of Peter Obi, the failed presidential candidate of the Labour Party, and that Mr. Peter Obi should be held responsible for whatever crisis emanates from the protest, and that the obedience are plotting to unseat President Bola Tinubu, and under the guise of protest, several gullible, undiscerning persons have joined Onanuga to state specifically that Igbos are the propellers of this forthcoming national protest. What is the title of the protest? End bad governance. How can end bad governance be, someone says, hey, you, this man, big head, hey, Mr. Big Head. If your head is not big, why are you concerned about that? What they are saying here is to end bad governance. Someone is getting angry and agitated. It means someone is actually somewhere governing so badly. So badly that people can no longer eat. So badly that a single tuber of yam is now over 7,000 naira. In some areas, some say, on Sunday I had an interview here. Professor Chris Mustafa Mokubia said that he bought a tuber of yam for 9,000 naira in Lagos. How do people survive? And people are registering their anger. What you hear is that it is Mr. Peter Obi who is doing that. So P2B is the one sending hunger to the people. P2B is the one behind the insecurity. P2B is the one using 150 billion, billion, not million, 150 billion naira to buy presidential aircraft. Yet we have nine aircraft in the fleet of the president since the time of Goodluck Jonathan. One of the reasons they used to remove Goodluck Jonathan that they had so many presidential fleets, yet Buhari could not sell one. And this one comes in instead of them to sell three, four, five, six, and use the money to buy one. When in normal parlance, when you say you buy one is one, you buy one, you know you bought one is one. No, they wouldn't do that. And here you are accusing someone. In Ohanese's response to the madness that they were spewing, Ohanese said, Ohanese views the above remark by Onanuga as true type. On March 19th, 2023, Onanuga was reported by several news media to have issued a serious warning to the Igbo, stating, let 2023 be the last time of Igbo interference in Lagos politics. Let there be no repeat in 2027, when many well-meaning Nigerians, including Festus Kayamo, cautioned Onanuga on the ignorable path he has chosen for himself. And he was quoted to have stated, I owe nobody apology for ethnic slur against Ndibo, quote unquote. This is what Bayo Onanuga. Tell me, Tinubu knows about this. Tinubu knew what Bayo Onanuga did, and Tinubu knew about the ethnic slur, and he said nothing. Now, I think to many Ndibo and the socio-cultural organization, I think this matter has come to a point where the gloves must be taken off and let us box this bare knuckle. It is time to take Bayo Onanuga to the ICC. Let the dragon begin. If someone wants violence, then you can now begin to give civil violence promax. Because it is not a sign of weakness that someone is trying to be civil and you've been taken for a ride and been taken for a ride for so long. An entire ethnic nationality, it is highlighted there. Let 2023 be the last time of Igbo interference in Lagos politics. If you had Ndibo, if you had people from Delta, and if you had people from Middle Belt, and you have Hausa and Fulanis, who live in Lagos, who live in Anambra, and who live in Benue, that is where they registered, that is where they pay their tax, that is where they take their census. When it comes to an election, please, where are they going to vote? Jesus Christ. Those of you in the United Kingdom of Yoruba extraction, when you vote, peace-loving people you are, when you vote, where do you vote? You vote in Hackney, you vote in Reading, you vote in Oxford, you vote in Manchester. Nobody ever tells you, go back to Nigeria, you have a green passport, and vote there. No. Now where man they work, now they shop, workshop. So how can people not, I mean, this thing does not make sense. Absolutely, absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. And the Hanese goes further to say the following. Hanese Ndibo views Onanuga's bizarre disposition toward anything Igbo as unthoughtful, loathsome, cantankerous, uncouth, repugnant, inflammable, repugnant, and full of deep-seated hate. It may be necessary to inform Bayo Onanuga that Nigerians of all persuasions, north, south, east, west, are all in pains of diverse form, excruciating hardship, poverty, neither downward spiral, incessant killings, kidnapping, banditry, farmer headers conflict, most terrifying insecurity, joblessness, rising food price and cost of living challenges, and all the prevailing hardship in Nigeria is blind to ethnicity. It is necessary to inform Bayo Onanuga. This is a time for the presidency to initiate policies, programs, activities, and body language that will appeal to assuage the downtrodden, disposed, oppressed, and deprived people of Nigeria, including the obedient. Who are the obedient? The obedient are those Nigerians who cannot feed 3 times a day. The obedient are those Nigerians who can no longer go to their villages because of insecurity. The obedient are those Nigerians whom their minimum wage is no longer near anything. Every Nigerian that is suffering the mess the APC has sunk Nigeria into is an obedient. Every Nigerian who is suffering, who cannot afford to buy medication. A lady told me a story the other day that let tears drop out of my eyes. She had asthma. She had asthma. She said I can't remember the brand she called that she before now she used to buy it for 4,900. A young lady of less, I don't know, don't know her age, but the story is suddenly the same thing that they put in their mouth when they have attack is approaching 20,000. One. So how is she going to? She going to prostitute to just stay alive, or what's she going to do? And she comes out to send her, you know, how she feels. Someone wants to call her out. Anyway, that is not the main thing here. The issue here is we are now going to look at this cocoa here. P2B has finally, that was actually yesterday, but many of us got wind of it today. And let me read this for many of us here. 22nd July 2024, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, Special Advisor to the President on Communication and Strategy, the Presidency Asorok Villa, Abuja, Tiasa. Reviewed. P2B supporters are the people planning mayhem in Nigeria. Now, Nigerian people are planning a protest on their own. How come the government is adding mayhem? Is the government planning to unleash mayhem on innocent Nigeria the way they did with NSAS? The NSAS protest was peaceful, so peaceful, until government decided to open fire on her own citizens, singing their national anthem under the toll gate. May the souls of the departed Nigerians rest in peace. Now, P2B continues here. We have been briefed and our services return Mr. P2B, whom we shall herein after refer to as our client, and upon whose specific instructions this correspondence is founded. Our client's attention has been drawn to a widely circulated and damaging publication titled Reviewed. P2B supporters are the people planning mayhem in Nigeria who should be held responsible for anarchy. That was published on your verified X, formerly known as Twitter account, Bayo Onanuga 1956. An adult that was born 1956 should be 1956 till now. It's almost 58 years on planet Earth. 58 years on planet Earth is the one causing this mayhem. Someone who is almost now at the second part of his life, nearing the departure lounge. And the suit continues. At about 8:54 a.m., imagine he knows when to do this. Early in the morning, this publication was also circulated on various social media platforms, including the X, WhatsApp, Facebook, as well as various online print media such as Vanguard News. Vanguard News titled it, Peter Obi should be held responsible for planned nationwide protests. Can you imagine? Onanuga. Vanguard News, uh, again, Peter Obi, IPOP behind planned protest. Onanuga insists Vanguard News, Punch, presidency plotting to arrest Peter Obi. Media office alleges the cable Peter Obi supporters behind planned nationwide protest. Onanuga, blah blah blah. Right now, the cocoa is here. If you move away from everyone, including Channels TV, Leadership newspaper, the cables, these day newspapers, then the what Peter Obi now the suit now starts. Two, where he says, our client was minded to ignore the false and malicious campaign of calumny, regarding it as the vaporations of one who prefers to express their opinion over understanding of that of a scoffer who, converted by ladies who try to convert others to foolishness. But as the good book says, answering a fool stupid word will make one look foolish, but not answering will make them think they are smart. That is Proverbs 26:7. In order not to have our client's silence misconstrued as acquaintances or admission, but our client saw a need to set the record straight. The central theme of this reference statement from an unbiased and objective an unbiased and objective examine therefore is that our client is an anarchist while working in consonance with terrorist groups, has championed the mobilization of several nationwide protests in a bitter and undemocratic bid to upsurge the federal government, possibly as reconstituted for failure as as restitution for failure at the 2023 presidential election. Our client denies the entirety of the falsehood contained in the said publication and insists that there is no modicum of truth in the allegations preferred against him in your published statement that has since gone viral on the internet and various social media platforms. The said statement is in every sense malicious and convey with them the potentiality of orchestration of our client by well-meaning, and conveyed with it an ostracization of our client by well-meaning citizens of Nigeria. It shall be stated without any form of equivocation that our client is an elder statesman, a diplomat, and unwavering Democrat. He has always tailored his affairs according to the dictates of Nigerian law, where there has been any dissatisfaction with any process or procedure, our client at first and only resort has been to invoke the appropriate legal mechanism to ventilate his grievances. As a matter of fact, our client has severally urged his teaming supporters to abide by the rule of law and abstain from any action which could result in a breakdown of law and order. He refrains from associating himself with protests and has consistently persuaded Nigerians to perverse so. Our client has expressed dissatisfaction with certain policies and has voiced same over through constructive criticism without malice or resentment. It is our client's conviction that the publication was calculated plot to demean, ridicule, humiliate, embarrass him by the estimation of every right-thinking member of the society. It appears you have achieved your insipid motive as well wishers from all around the globe have inundated him with calls to register their shop. His appellation as Okute, the Rock, notwithstanding the demeaning and scandalous publication, has been caused a serious emotional injury to our client, given his decades of stellar stewardship in private and public life. Consequently, we have our client's mandate to demand that you retract the statement made in this publication and tender unreserved apology to him within 72 hours of the receipt of this letter in not less than 4 national dailies, to with 1 Vanguard, This Day, Punch, and The Cable, including your verified X account. Handle. Our client is making an unequivocal demand for monetary damage of 5 billion only for the embarrassment your defamatory publication has cost him and his family. Take note that in the event of your failure to meet the demand set out above, our client shall be constrained to approach a court of competent jurisdiction and take legal action against you for defamation and libel. Be advised accordingly. While looking forward to your response, accept my assurance of our highest esteem. Yours faithfully, Chief Alex AJCM SAN. People, that is what Peter B has written to by his lawyers. It's given him 72 hours. 72 hours to retract and apologize, else the legal battle starts. And I make bold to say it on this platform that Bayo and Onanuga is not. He will not apologize. Therefore, as in their normal cliche, let us meet in court. We'll see in court. Because this case is going to be tested in court. And make no mistake, appeal court, get ready. Supreme Court would also get ready. There is an adage in Igbo that says, if you do not struggle with that tiny road, it doesn't expand. We must test this madness in the law of court. Let's see how this defamation, was this to be done by any other person? By now, the DSS, who were somewhere sleeping, they would have been looking for the person. If the government is not scared of their ills, of the things they are doing, why is the government arresting all the northern youth planning this? So many northern youth have been arrested on the accusation, that they are printing t-shirts, that they are printing posters. When has it become an offense? When has it become an offense to print poster in God's name? When has it become an offense in this country? When has it become an offense to actually go for a protest? Before you forget, we have it here on record. The chief protester himself, here on record, saying in the year 2012, 2013, during the subsidy regime, here we have him saying the following. Listen to him.
But they will forget the other one. That is what they are doing with your money. Not enough that they are stealing from our children tomorrow for lack of investment in education. They are still embezzling the retirement benefit of hardworking Nigeria, including our grandfathers. They are stealing the port, the treasury, not even leaving some coins for us to war with. Let them be out. Out now.
Let them be out Out now. What does it mean to be out? Let them be removed. Removed now. Yet, Peter Obi has never made any such comment that Tinubu should be removed. Why then do you attack him when he has not made any such claim? Why then do you attack him? Now, Atiku calls for protest, right? Let me get that quickly. Atiku calls for protest. Yet, anybody, all of them are quiet. None of them are getting, none of them, all those people. Just imagine, think about it just for 1 second. Imagine Peter Obi is the one that made any tweet, any comment about protest, or says that he is supporting these people, that people should go out and protest. Imagine what will happen, right? Imagine for 1 second. Sowore is there. Sowore is the one calling out people to come to the street to protest. Let me quickly share this page with us here quickly. So let's have a look at this. Here is Atiku Abubakar saying Atiku is defending the right to protest. Citizens, criticizes President Tinubu call for cancellation. Right? Atiku defends right to protest. Atiku. So when you look at these things, you ask yourself, what is then the problem of these people? Who are those calling for protest? Sowore is calling for protest. Deji Adeyanju is calling for protest. Shehu Kuti is calling for protest. You ignore everyone calling for protest, but the only one that you would ever remember who has not said anything about the protest is Mr. Peter Obi. Why? Why? I ask you, why? Why is it that it is only Mr. Peter Obi who has not called for any protest that they are going after? What are they scared of? What have the strategists told them about Mr. Peter Obi? That they must day in, day night. Did he take their wives? Did he take their girlfriends? Did he steal from them? Why must it be only one man? Well, I'm happy that that is about to change, because the court must now decide who is right and who is wrong. You cannot continue in this way. If I go back again and look at what the conversation by Arise this morning with Professor Chris Mustafa Nwokobia, it is the same conversation. The same conversation. Let me just take a snippet of it here and see what and how Professor Chris Mustafa Nwokobia responded when the Arise crew this morning asked him this question.
Professor Chris Nwokobia, convener of Country First Movement. Good morning, Professor, and welcome to the morning show.
Good morning, Ayo. It's my pleasure to be here.
All right, let's go straight in. I just gave that, I gave a lengthy read of one of the tweets by presidential special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Chief Bayo Onanuga, who's used some very interesting words: anarchist, social or civilian coup. He said that the hashtag and perhaps the movement is being driven or spearheaded by Mr. Peter Obi of the Labour Party. Is there merit to what he's tweeted?
There's absolutely no truth to it. And let me start by saying that oftentimes when those who speak for Mr. President do, they forget that they must be keen on doing great service, not only to the presidency, not only to Mr. President, but to the nation. I have always said that truth is the pristine street in the city called brotherhood. there is absolutely no truth in what my boy Bayo Onanuga had written. And let me also say that opposition is a pristine boulevard in the city called patriotism. You cannot expect to have a country without critical opposition. And I wonder about this, and this is for the viewers to ponder. P2B allegedly lost an election last February. He did not call the people out to protest. Through the period of the judicial process, he did not call the people out to protest. It's a year and months after that he would sit back to ask the people to protest. There is something even the greatest critic of Peter Gregory Obi would say. He's a man of peace. He loves due process. And at some point, you can bear me witness, I called him out about certain issues, and I said he was allowing so many things to go wrong, even at the level of the party, because he wants peace and due process. And that same Peter Gregory Obi is one Bayo Onanuga is trying to rope in a process that is absolutely within the purview of the Gen Z generation. And let me show you something. If there's anybody stoking the fire or stoking the embers of conflict and crisis, it is Bayo Onanuga. When you use words like you noted, anarchy, when you use words like overawing the words that overawe the system, when you use words like planning mayhem, when the young people are talking about peaceful protestation, then there's something that we must be wary about. And that's why I want to say clearly that Mr. President must understand that those who truly love him are those who are critical of his watch. I know that the Holy Book says that open rebuke is better than strict love. Those who truly love him are those who are critical about how his watch is going. Those who are sycophants, who pat his back when things are going wrong, are the haters of not only the president, haters of the presidency, and haters of our country. When I read through what Bayo Onanuga wrote, I wondered how much hate he has for Mr. President and not love. Fear of querulous critics. Che, when a man is down, he needs fear no fall. It's true. And if Bayo Onanuga understands this reality and understands what this Gen Z generation is facing, if he understands this reality and understands that when you go to the market, you need 10,000 naira to buy an average tuber of yam, when he understands that this Gen Z generation are aware of what goes on around government, that over $100 million was spent in purchase of a presidential aircraft when roads, connecting roads to the farms and the villages are not well and are not good. When you understand the fact that they are out of school and they are through with youth service and there's no job. When you understand the fact that the Nigerian hoi polloi is buffeted, traumatized, tyrannized, and harangued by hunger, poverty, disease, and despondency. When you understand that the shortage of food and the spiraling rate of inflation affects everybody. When you understand that hunger, disease, and despondency is beyond ethnicity. When you understand that the challenge facing the Nigerian people is beyond partisanship, he would write nicely and seek to create a better environment for negotiation and perhaps dialogue with those who are aggrieved.
Okay. I mean, how do you juxtapose all of this?
Now, the next question that Rufai was going to ask him says a lot. I said it anyway. Let me not interject. Just listen to this part.
When Bayo Onanuga, as is fondly called him, in 2012, tweeted songs of protest. I was excited about the protest against Goodluck Jonathan then. With his position now of a protest, what has changed? Might you help us want to understand?
My brother Rufai, good morning. A lot has changed. He has his hands now perhaps in the cookie jar or very close to the cookie jar. A lot has changed. perhaps he must sing the praise of his masters. A lot has changed because when people put egocentric interests over and above popular interest, they begin to talk from two sides of the mouth. Rufai, with all sense of respect, in 2012, when we marched out at Ojota against the fuel price increase by the then president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, even our dear president was absolutely in support, materially and morally, of that protest. Bayo, Onanuga and co. hailed our action. Yours sincerely addressed the rally about 2-3 times, and it was a long, drawn-out rally, about 11 days of protestation against Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. They saluted it. Now Nigeria is worse than it was then. That's the truth. You know, even the president admitted that in his last broadcast. But he said it's the process of changing the nation is not an easy one. They tried to gaslight the masses of our people. Yeah, we know that it is bad, perhaps everywhere in the world. But leadership is making frontal, profound, and progressive efforts across spaces. Here, our leadership is taken over by wanderlust, by greed and profligacy. That's the pain here. And so when Bayo Onanuga refuses to understand that the right to protest and protestation is intrinsic in the human makeup, when he fails to realize that the right to say no and to disagree is recognized, enshrined, and respected by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in Chapter 4. When he fails to recognize that Nigerian people have the right to disagree with government, the freedom of assembly, the freedom to hold opinion. And when he fails to realize that peaceful protestation is a universally protected right and decides to allege that those who are behind the protest still in the mill are the obedience, are the IPOP people, and perhaps, if you like, sponsored, machinated, and manipulated by Peter Gregory. It shows the fact that he loves half-truths and falsehood. I want to say without querulous critique, without fear of opposition, without fear of criticism, that the truth is that he's looking a different way. Those who are planning this protest are everywhere across the country. They are the Nigerian hoi polloi, the young people who are traumatized by pain, hunger, and disease. There are those affected directly. As I talk to you, I've got tears in my eyes, welling down my eyes, because it pains me that we have a government that is too removed from the reality, and we have a government superintended by those who believe that protestation and disagreement with state is noble, and suddenly they are now in power, and protestation and disagreement with state has become anarchical. They are now in power, and protestation and disagreement with state is a crime. They are now in power, and disagreement and protestation is anathema. They are now in power, and they want to make the rights of the people to disagree atavistic and shibboleth. And I disagree completely with the state on this. And I want to say that Mr. President understands the anatomy of protest and protestation. So he should call his spokespersons to order. They should stop provoking the Nigerian young people. They should stop creating division, because hunger is indiscriminate of ethnicity. Hunger is indiscriminate of religion or region. And hunger is indiscriminate of the tendencies that they want to whip up. You know, it's not about our pub. It is not about obedience. It's not about Peter Gregory. It's about a generation that wants their nation to work.
Very simple. Very, very simple. A generation that wants their nation to work. If you go to the Twitter page of Omoyele Sowore, let me show us. If you go to the page, I don't know when Omoyele Sowore has become Peter Obi supporter, or when Omoyele Sowore now reports to Peter Obi. he posted this on the 14th of July, and this is it.
Nigeria, it is time to take your country back. Revolution now is the only way.
So that's what Saul posted. 4 hours ago, he posted Day of Rage. These are the towns and cities where protest coordinators have emerged across Nigeria for the End Bad Governance Revolt. Bauchi, Azare Bauchi, I know, haven't spoken to a lot of young Nigerians. This protest is coming predominantly from the northern part of Nigeria, those areas that Tinubu won. Those areas that they rigged, those areas that they snatched it, that they grabbed it, and they ran masterfully. Well, they don't snatch him. He reached to govern is to blame another person. He said this man did not win the election. He went to court. Judicial abracadabra happened. Suddenly, the constitution, it took us 14 good hours standing in court. So my leg, they pain me. To understand the meaning of and conjunction is suddenly and mattered not. Don't worry, it does not matter. These are people talking about revolution now, protest, this, that. I tell you this, if for these protests there turns out to be violence, know it that 99.99% it is instigated by the government. They have done it before. Why wouldn't they do it again? Once upon a time, we had Nigerian youth come together to protest NSAS. The protest was going on well until all of us saw DSS. Let me look for the video. We all saw DSS come with SUVs. All these Prados that we buy for them. They came with these SUVs to do what? To scuttle these protests. They started destroying things to the point that when it was called off at night, the light at the toll gate was turned off. Have you all forgotten how suddenly the former governor of Lagos State became an investigative journalist, the highest investigator ever came out of Nigeria? They swept everywhere, and there was a camera recording. Nobody saw the camera until Fashola came. Was walking, suddenly he saw a camera, and the camera had the USB card, and he was recording everything. Make una dey fear God small. But the madness, there is another proverb. Sorry, I can't do away without proverbs. There is another proverb that says, when the butterfly learns how to fly without perching, the hunter must learn how to shoot without aiming. When a young child crawls and bites my white hair without minding the whiteness, as an elder, I must crawl back and bite the pampas without minding the content of that pampas. That is it. It has come to a place and a point where bare knuckles will be used in this fight. Bare knuckles in a civilian, not in a civil manner. You cannot continue to defame a man. He will ignore you. You defame him again. You wake up. You do absolute nothing than just to defame one man. Waiting now. Waiting you do it. Waiting. Thank God he has decided to fight back. I can tell you, Mr. Pitobi, you have all the support of Nigerians on this. Fight back. Waiting. The man not to die twice. Legally, you fight back. 5 million he will pay. Afterwards, Professor Pato to me will knock him his own akbako 500 million. By the time they finish it, let's know whether or not the money where they steal from Nigeria they will use in paying them. What a manner of nonsense. That you can't push a man to the wall. Even Even goats can bite. If you push them to the wall, they can bite. Goats. Yes, they have teeth not only to cut grass, they have teeth to do other things as well. Right? It is time to sue him and sue his fucking backside. Sorry for my French. Okay. So people, on this, in case if you want to, in the comment section, I believe, or if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see the link to join. It's shared there. If you want to join, you can click on that link and it brings you in here. And on YouTube, the link is pinned. On Facebook, on Twitter, I think the link is also shared on Twitter. You can always join and make a contribution, trying to make this stream not to go for too long. But one thing is very clear: there is tomorrow. There is a lot of receipt. Even Nigerians are now showing them a lot of receipt, right? Nigerians are showing a lot of receipt. If you go to Twitter and type Bayo Onanuga, you will see a lot of receipt of the madness, of the senseless comment as that he has made over time. These comments are there. If you listen to some of these things, let me play this. Let me play this for us. Listen to this. This is one of those individuals that actually, these are the babas in protest. Listen to this.
What President Jonathan is doing, which 10 or so years after, all the political parties in this country agreed with. What President Jonathan is doing, which 10 or so years after, all the political parties in this country agreed with. They even put it in their manifesto. Subsidy must be removed. Subsidy must be removed. Subsidy must be removed. We in ACN at the time in 2012. We know the truth, sir. But it is all politics. And that is
Did you hear that? The ACN that was formed and led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they knew the truth as of 2012, 2013. But they deceived young Nigerians to join them. They knew that subsidy had to go. They knew that it was the right thing to do. But again, in his words, not mine. Listen to him.
2012. We know the truth, sir. But it is all politics.
In 2012, they knew the truth, but they decided to play politics with the lives of Nigerians. They decided to play politics with the life of so many innocent and young people. And at the end of the day, what happened? We will be keeping track as this story develops. But one thing is, my day is made that this case is now going to be instituted. There is a caveat there for those of you asking questions. This letter was served to them yesterday, and with a 72-hour notice to publicly retract or they meet in court. So 72 hours today, 24 hours tomorrow, 48 next day. If that doesn't happen, that retraction, what I can guarantee you is that by Thursday, the legal fireworks definitely must start. Many of you don't know, but if you know and you have come across Peter Obi very close, you know that he is a dogged fighter. Let his voice deceive you not. He's a man that if he sets his eye on something. You can imagine, as a governor, there was this um, government lodge that was born. Over 400 million was budgeted for it to be fixed. And he looked at the cost and said, no, this is insane. We can do it much less. And he used less than 100 million to rebuild and refurnish the whole place. Those in the state assembly that has already wanting to steal somewhat commingle money got angry. They went to Asaba, outside Anambra State, to impeach him. And impeaching him, they called him, okay, why are you doing this now? Just give us, just give us, okay, forget the other one. Just give us small something. Let's just do as if nothing happened. He said no. Rather, instead of give them that money, because he believed that that was an illegal act, he went to court. That was when the first women governor in Nigeria took over, them, Veji Etiaba, who was the deputy. Etiaba became the governor of Anambra State. He went to court. The court brought him back, hence leading to tenor interpretation. Also, when election was conducted, and Uba won, again, he went to court to say, court need to interpret what tenor elongation means. That's Anambra State is the first state in Nigeria as a result of his doggedness to go to court and to get things done properly and right. Yes, many Nigerians came out. Their wishes were not obeyed, and those who have grabbed it, who have run with it, are now trying to find a way to arrest him. What they are trying to do, we are not stupid, we are not silly. It's just that some of us, we don't want to be saying certain things in order not to appear that these things are, as if we are trying to hype on ethnic sentiment. But we are not silly. If by any chance, what they are working on is, if by any chance, by what they are doing, the misgovernance they are giving Nigerians, that the Kaki boys, for somewhat reason, strikes. Oh, Igbo. That's how the narrative will change. The same way it changed in years past. When I say it here, I say it that the 1966 coup was a total waste of time. It was not necessary. It would have allowed the nation to run the way it was running. Eventually, we'll find our way. But when it did, suddenly the narrative changed that this was done by only a certain people. That is pure madness. That is insanity. Many people have come out to debunk it, even those who lived through that time. They've written books, but yet, because there is an orchestrated plan to target that it is, done by certain people, the narrative sticks up till today. We cannot be alive in 2024 looking and things are changing. Recall that in 2020, in fact, let me actually look for that video. Recall that in 2020, when we were here, we saw people that all of us were adults. We saw the young, hungry Nigerians, Lagosians, that went to the Oba Palace to do whatever they did in the Oba Palace. And we're all alive here when suddenly that narrative was being changed, that the Igbos were attacking Lagos. And I mean, how can? Yes, of course, there were some certain statements that were made that is not, no one, not till tomorrow would I ever authorize such statement. But even at that, it did not warrant that what eventually happened, the statement, the narrative, ought to be pushed. Even then, I, on this platform, stepped forward. Nnamdi Kanu was brought on this platform, and he said that he was sorry. And he was sorry to the Yoruba nation. Bayo Adebanjo was in this, while I, was his. So, Professor what's it called? Bayo Adebanjo was here. I moderated this session. So we cannot, in 2023, seeing that things are going certain way, one intervened. Then in 2024, and the same thing is trying to go the same pattern of 1966, that will keep quiet. No, now, unless you're not a child of history. Knowing history and knowing the thinking of certain individuals, we must address issues differently. That is what the Italians say. They say capital rejectament. We reject such arrant nonsense. Sorry. You cannot, these are things we can't allow such nonsense to happen. Right? I wish I can just find a way to scroll to the portion where he actually let me quickly bring this video. Sorry. I'm not digressing, but there is a reason I want to play this video for us. Let me bring this video for us. So this is, in this video, you will see who and who is the people on these Professor Olufemilade is here. So I would now, on the screen here is Chidi Kali. Quickly, as I said before, myself, I was the one. Everyone is going to be muted. Now, that's me on the top left, and Nandikan on the right, blah blah blah. So, and Professor Olufemilade was a contestant. And we are here to say this is not an ethnic protest. Exactly. Sometimes I feel sad. You know why I feel sad is, why must one keep denying such nonsense? 4 years ago, on this platform, one denied the NSAS was not an. It's heartbreaking sometimes that NSAS was not an ethnic protest. Everybody knew it, but certain individuals idiotically want to push the narrative that that the NSAS was. This is a movement. Now, the reason why we all gathered here is there is a dimension that has started evolving in the last couple of hours, where whoever that is trying to make this movement an ethnic movement. And we are here to say this is not an ethnic protest or movement. That we are here to say, stop the propaganda to make it one, because that is not what it is. On that note, as I spoke to you on the phone, you now have the floor to make your presentation, Professor.
Okay, thank you very much, Mazi. Let me just make a little clarification in your introduction. I was a member of the Buhari Presidential Campaign Council 2015 and 2019, and even in 2011. And that was because of one's belief that based on his antecedents, that is one person that will do this country proud, being a man of discipline, a man of integrity. But I think the recent developments have proved us to be grossly wrong in our thinking. But that is by the way. Anyway,
by the way, I want to just get to where this statement, I'm just trying to scroll. Femi Fani-Kayode spoke. I think, let me see where I interjected to make that clarification. So that I'm just trying to get this, because the same.
Everybody, if you want a better society, if you want a better existence, they cannot do it now. They cannot do with this generation of 2020.
Is sorry. That is very clear, and that must be clear to what he's
to ensure that our children have a better future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for putting that up there. Again, there is something that is very clear, whoever is listening. He said clearly, if you have misunderstood what he said, that he is sorry. That is very clear, and that must be clear to everyone. On this note, I'm going to bring my good brother and friend, Chief Femi Fanikayode, please. Anyway, you see, why did I play this video? Very simple. It happened 1966. It happened in 2020. Here we are again, a repeat of it. We can coexist as brothers and sisters, but we are no cowards. We can coexist as a people, but we are no cowards. I've read some things by my good friends and brothers and sisters. I read a wonderful rejoinder by I think Bolanle. You know, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can find that wonderful rejoinder by Bolanle. He, you know, you basically begin to appreciate that. Yes, she's, you know, she's she, you know. I hate to address people by their ethnic nationality, but one thing they do, you know, the things that happen here just makes you sick. The things that happens in this country makes you sick, right? Let me quickly play this for us. Let's listen to this. I know I have someone joining me now, right? Felix, I'll quickly bring you in, but let's look at this before I do that. When I read the things written by Lady Bolanle, I felt like there are still good Nigerians there. When I read the things written by Dele Farotimi, I feel like there are still Nigerians who have their thinking faculties clearly intact, right? But when others make some comments, and I keep asking myself, what would you benefit from these silliness? What would you benefit from stoking ethnic, gaslighting people? Of what benefit is that to you? Why would someone, an adult of 58 years, just wake up, lace nonsense, right? Lace nonsense, and just push it out there, that everyone will have to believe that this is what, that is what the story is. We are all adults, and there is no way, many of us, there is no way one can be alive and allow this nonsense to fly. It won't happen. Not in our generation. We cannot allow such nonsense to keep happening. Not in our generation, honestly. So, Felix, while I'm getting that in, Felix, are you still there? Felix, are you there? Okay. I think Felix is not ready. So, people, please, if you want to join, Alex is asking if you want to join, you can scroll back and the link to join is there. Is Alex, I can see you on YouTube. Check the pinned message. That is the link to join. Yeah, I've just read this, that obedient also. I mean, for those of you who may wish to call, there is a WhatsApp number on the screen. You can use that WhatsApp number to call as well. Someone, I'm not religious, says, and we, the obedient, are also bringing 500 billion. I beg, make una no kill am. I know you guys are not killers. Make una no kill am, I beg. Make una no kill am with too much, don't kill him with too much lawsuit, please. Don't kill him. But I mean, it ought to be said. It has to be stopped. This penchant for waking up, you think Igbo, you go to sleep, you think Igbo, everything negative you keep thinking. It's not helpful, and it's not healthy in any way, shape, or form. If we have to be a nation, let's be a nation. Many people, myself included, are clamoring for a restructured federation. So we be. If you're in Lagos, you should have the right as a citizen of this federation. If you're in Abuja, you should have the right of the citizen of this federation. If you're in Anambra, if you're in Enugu, if you're in the Imo State, you should have the right of a citizen of this federation accorded to you. No one, no matter who that person is, has the right to trample on your right because you're not from Imo, Anambra, Enugu, Ebonyi Rivers, or Cross River, or Akwa Ibom. In those areas, no. And no one has the right to trample on your rights if you're in Lagos, Kwara, you know, I don't know, Zango, Kataf, Kaduna, wherever it is, no one has the right to trample on your rights too. It is timely. Honestly, like I said, without missing word, I think this is indeed a welcome development that this lawsuit has come to be. That this lawsuit is taken. That this lawsuit, it's coming at the right time. And Professor Pato told me he hasn't, made. He just there was a statement to that. I haven't laid my hands on the papers, but when I do, I will make it public. We'll have a staff member to publish it on the community section here. So please, for those of you who are not following us, I know we had over 500 people watching us. Please, please, please click the like button, subscribe, so that once these developing stories are coming up, we'll keep pushing it out there and keep us informed. Let me quickly take a couple of your comments, then we'll probably call it a wrap. James Ezekudo says, let's take your comment. I'm very happy for the legal suit. All obedience here in Manchester, England, GB are full support of the legal action. I mean, you're not alone. I think everyone is in support of this because as we say, Abahuzo Waremba Odiechi. Alex Z, please go ahead and do the right thing by looking at the pinned message. Click on it. It will bring you in. One mommy says lawyers in Nigeria will not allow this. No, it's not possible. It's not possible not to allow it to fly. It will. Don't worry. Every day we'll learn. Every day we'll learn. That is not an issue. It will definitely fly. Let me Evans, another person I would love P2B to sue is Abayomi Arabambi. No. Arabambi's case is is a party issue. That is not that is not something to be taken serious. Excellent. Well done, Pio. The coward called Onanuga deserves to be sued for defamation of character. Enough is enough. I agree with him. Enough is indeed enough. And Arjun Sharon says, great move. We agree with you. That's indeed a great move. Right? So many of you watching are not yet subscribing to this platform. Why? You keep coming back, but you do not want to subscribe to Njenje Media TV. Please, by all means, click the like button, click the share button, and click the subscribe button. Some of your comments I can't, I'll read them and smile, but to stay within the professional realm, I would not be reading them out aloud, but I'll read them. And those of you who are watching this stream can go and read them and also smile, right? So thank you very much for joining me. Let me see if I can play this video of Tinubu on protest. Then we'll call it a wrap, right? So here, let me quickly do that here. Okay, if you watch this, You see, Gani Fahimi, Nefertiti wrote, Gani Fahimi, the only man who fought the corrupt system and gave everything without asking for rice and cooking pot in return. You see that feast that he held, the Gani Fahimi. Eventually, even those he fought eventually agreed that he was, you know, that he was next to a genius, And this person wrote, I have always said that when the APC accuses you of doing something, they have done it before, they are currently doing it, and plan to do soon. So 11 years ago, let's listen to what Bola
Our
Tinubu.
rulers, those who could improve this situation for the good of all of us, do not allow the opportunity to make things better for us. They make it better for themselves, for their comfort and their families. Cronyism is prevailing. Today, our rulers in Abuja and across some of their states, you know what they say to us when they remove subsidy and we say no. Hunger is increasing, they say so what? Unemployment is a cause, they say yes, we know. Why are the people hungry is then let them face death. That is what is in Abuja of today. The current way of governance make nation building impossible. What it does.
Sorry, the territory to interfere here. If you close your eye and be listening to this, what do you feel? Don't you feel that this government is actually talking to themselves? Every single line, every single word without mincing it is basically talking to themselves. 11 years ahead of time.
Poverty and the erosion of just society inevitable. We have gathered at this hour in this place to put an end to the national corruption and corruption. We have assembled here today to bring a new day and a new Nigeria to our people. Today, the Nigerian people are decent and hardworking people. They are equally long suffering. They tolerate for too long. Just because they are long suffering does not mean they should be forced to suffer until death comes. We, our people, we've had enough of excuses. Our people have had enough of having nothing. The current government's trademark is to throw empty words at our problem, as if doing nothing will cause our troubles to live for sheer boredom. Unemployment increases. Industrialization, we have nothing. Refinery, nothing is working. Electricity, they lie. If this is the government of, if this is the government's idea of transformation, and we have none of it, we should not have any of it. Because before, we say the government of slow motion. Now, it is a government of no motion at all. If they want to stand still at the bus stop or train station and be stagnated without poverty, they have the right to do so. And we have a right to kick them out. Not enough that they are stealing from our children tomorrow for lack of investment in education.
Anyway, This was on a protest ground. He was there.
Still embezzling the retirement benefits of hardworking Nigerians, including our grandfathers. They are stealing the port, the treasury, not even leaving some coins for us to war with. Let them be out. Out now.
Let them be out now. When he said these things, good luck, Ebere Jonathan, a man of peace. Many of you call him weakling. I disagree. Good luck did not send the army. Good luck did not send the DSS. And good luck did not send anyone to go and arrest them. Good luck allowed every single protester their civil space to voice out their anger. Right? Good luck is so peaceful to the point that he allowed Nigerians. All Good luck's regime did was to provide security for the protesters. But those who led protests are accusing those who never tweeted about protest, never talked about protest in private and in public, that they are the leaders of protest. They will now meet in court for him to explain to the people who the real protesters are. They'll meet in court. Now Nigerians, children are saying, we are hungry, we want to do XYZ. You're calling them anarchy. They haven't even started. They've laid out their plan, their demands is all over on Twitter. This is what the demands are. After reading their demands, you know they are trying to get you on your brocode. All you now want to do is to do fear mongering, blaming others who do not have anything to do with protest, that they are the reason why this young Nigeria are planning to protest. Good for you, serves you right. You've now been informed. As the hour expires, you're going to be seeing the other side, and you're going to be, come in court. These same people in the video you've just watched made this lengthy 4 minutes video. It's actually more than that, calling for the Goodluck Jonathan to be kicked out, not voted out. Listen, he said kicked out, not voted out. Kicked out, and eventually they did. Pot, calling not even kettle, calling teacup, white teacup, black, because the white teacup is unstained. Pot, calling white teacup black. How? Because it is Nigeria. It is now time for the court of law to determine if this level of madness against a man, against a movement, against an ethnic nationality, if this is right. He's just gotten this lawsuit from P2B. Professor Patutume is coming with his. I guarantee you, it's not ending there. There are some groups within the Igbo ethnic extraction that may decide that they would even take it further to ICC, that anytime he steps his foot outside Nigeria, he may have 1 or 2 cases to answer. Until then, we'll see. And I am still Mazezoki. Thank you very much for joining me in this broadcast. Please, by all means, try as much as possible to follow us on this platform. Like, share, and subscribe. Good night, good evening, wherever you're watching me from. So be it. We'll keep the conversation going. Good night. Bye for now.
La 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 la.